I'd found Malloy just in time to watch him take a bullet. I wasn't sure whether that qualified as solving the case or not. Either way, I had to tell Fitzpatrick the bad news. He comes by my office, and I fill him in on what's happened. Second agent opened fired.
No!
Killed him. I barely got out of it alive. So for the next few minutes, I relate the events that led up to finding Malloy. But it's clear that his death is only part of the reason for Fitzpatrick's reaction. He's been withholding information from me since the beginning. Now it's time to find out what he knows about Malloy's work.
An unfortunate turn of events. Extremely unfortunate. Well, I guess this brings our partnership to an end. What do I owe you?
I think you owe me some details.
To what do you refer?
Look, Malloy was onto something big. He was just about to tell me until someone turned him into a corkboard. I want to know what happened, but most of all, I want to know what's going on here.
No, don't get into it. Forget this business. Take the money and walk away.
It's too late. I'm already involved. Now 1, possibly 3 NSA agents are dead. And for some strange reason, they're going to think that I'm involved with all this. And even if I wanted to drop out right now, the odds are they're going to find me and fill me with so much lead, they're going to be able to use me as a pencil. But aside from that, Malloy was onto something big. And those boxes are the key.
You know about the boxes?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that puts a different light on things, doesn't it? If you insist on staying with this, becoming involved, as you say, I've got to be able to be sure that I can rely on you, trust you. You know, this isn't the kind of thing that you can sort of dabble in and then back away.
Well, normally I do have a little problem with commitment. But on this, I'm in 100%.
All right. Thomas Malloy and I, scientific researchers, were working together in Roswell. And we became friends. Our friendship really developed when we were transferred to China after the great disaster of World War III. After some time, Malloy took me into his confidence and showed me what he'd been secretly working on, translating ancient alien hieroglyphics, taken from the crash of that Roswell spacecraft.
So you know what it is he was going to tell me?
No, I don't think so, not really. I knew that he'd been, deciphering these ancient hieroglyphics, some of the symbols that were found there. The dominating symbol seemed to be, or the dominating information seemed to be, that there was a second spacecraft approaching the Earth. And there was a continuing, recurring symbol of a black sun. Mysterious. He didn't get that at all. That really bugged him.
Well, this is all really interesting. But it's not the kind of information somebody kills for.
Tex, screw your head on straight! I'm ready to believe there is a second spacecraft down somewhere on this planet Earth unfound. Now, imagine that spacecraft filled with a technology that none of us have ever dreamed of. Imagine what someone would do to obtain that technology. Imagine what the government would do. Wouldn't it be worth killing for?
You've got one of the boxes, don't you?
I do. Receiving it led me to believe that my friend's life was in danger.
Well, then you probably know more about the boxes than I do.
Variations on a Chinese puzzle box. Tom had maybe 4, 5, or 6 of them made to his specifications while he was in China. Just some kind of a novelty, I think.
Do you know how to open them?
No. Never occurred to me to ask. Now, what do you know about the boxes?
Well, I had one, and the NSA picked me up. They gave me a choice between giving them the box or having my brains blown out.
Recovering that box has got to be our first priority. Otherwise, I doubt we can continue.
That's not going to be easy. I'll see what I can do. Just one more thing. You talked a lot about trusting me. Why should I trust you?
Mr. Murphy, I have more money and other vanities than I could possibly ever use. My purpose in being here, at the center, if there is a center to all this, is to follow the trail towards which my old friend pointed me. I don't know where it will lead, but I intend to reach that end.
I guess we're in business. There's something about Fitzpatrick that makes me trust him totally, though I have been wrong in that area before. He knows about the boxes, same as Regan does, but their motivations seem to be worlds apart. I figure my best strategy is to stay right here on the middle ground. The fact of the matter is, I want to know what Malloy was going to tell me. That's my motivation. And the first step from here is to recover the box I handed over to the NSA.
You have a fax. You have a fax. You have a fax.
The 60-day warranty just ran out on my electronic shop fax machine. It should break down any minute now. Well, it looks like my suspicions were correct. Now I'll just have to find out why Horton was posing as the Black Arrow killer. When I get to the waterfront warehouse, I'm a little surprised to see it still standing. From the smell of wet ashes, I'd guess the fire department got here in a hurry. They probably took away the charred bodies of Malloy and those government agents. At least Malloy went quickly. With any luck, I'll find something useful in here, if anything survived the explosion, that is. Oxygen cylinders. By the sound of Malloy's coughing, he probably used these for medical reasons. Here's a little tidbit our government boys missed. According to this postal receipt, Malloy sent out 5 packages 9 days ago. I guess that tells me how many boxes I'm looking for. Some names of Asian cities are printed on this piece of paper. This flight schedule seems a little too exorbitant to be taken seriously. I wonder what this item 186 is. An Everlock safe. I seem to recall there's a mathematical relationship to the serial number and the combination to open it. An Everlock safe. It appears the NSA overlooked Dr. Malloy's safe. How fortunate for me. This scrap refers to some sort of containment chamber with instructions on how to open it. From the imprints on this page, I'd say Malloy was writing on the title page and then tore it out. Looks like Malloy might have been trying to make an anagram out of the title, "There Are Messages from Outer Space." This notebook must contain information on Malloy's work. I can't make out the writing. Looks like some sort of personal shorthand. I wonder. Maybe Regan could figure out some of her father's chicken scratch. From the imprints on this page, Malloy certainly seems to prefer earth tones.
Hello, Tex Murphy. Decide to take me up on my proposition?
We need to talk.
Sounds serious. When do you want to get together?
How about as soon as possible?
All right. There's a lounge here at the Imperial. Meet me in a half an hour.
This is Lucia Purnell. I'm not at my desk right now, but if you leave your name and vid phone number, maybe I'll get back to you.
The Imperial is in the new city. Not too nice, but a few cuts above the Ritz. I walk into the lobby, then down a flight of stairs to the lounge. I'm not looking forward to telling Regan what happened to her father, but she deserves to know, and I'm gonna need her help. Thanks for the bourbon.
Is everything okay?
Tell me about your father.
My father worked for the military. I was born in China. I was raised there. We were really pretty close when I was younger, especially after my mother died. And then, we moved back here when he retired. Then he married that teenage gold digger. You know who I'm talking about. And, we had a little bit of a falling out. I just want to see him again.
I talked to your father last night.
You did? Where is he? I want to see him.
It's too late, Regan.
What do you mean?
NSA killed him. He almost got both of us last night. I'm
It's okay. You always knew they were gonna get him. That's why he didn't want me to know about his work. That's why he sent all those boxes out.
I recovered something. See if it looks familiar to you.
Yes, it's my father's. I recognize his writing. But he wrote it all in his own personal shorthand. It's almost impossible for me to figure out.
Why don't you give it a try anyway? It's one of the leads I'm working on to see what your father was doing.
It's lucky the NSA didn't get this.
You think it's that important?
Yeah, I do. I remember a conversation he had with a man who said that if he could make a translation, it would be worth a fortune.
Maybe it's tied to the boxes.
I brought mine with me.
Yeah, I had one, but the NSA confiscated it. But I know somebody else who's got one.
Who?
Gordon Fitzpatrick.
Oh, God. Gordon Fitzpatrick. I haven't heard that name since I was a little kid. He used to work for my father.
Well, he's as anxious to recover the boxes as you are. In fact, he's paying my tab. I say we form a triple alliance. He's got more connections than either one of us have got.
Let's wait and see what happens. Here, take a look at this. My father made it when we were in Peking, and several others like it. He didn't show me how to open it, though.
How many of these are there?
Oh, 5, I think.
Look, why don't you let me take this and see if I can get it opened up?
I'm not sure I like that idea. I mean, you could open it up and find the others and take all the money for yourself.
Listen, Regan, you gotta trust me. You can't do this by yourself. Nobody can. You need my help, and I need your help.
I guess I don't have much choice, do I? Tex, don't run out on me. I already lost my father.
I won't.
Listen, Murphy, I've got a proposition for you. Give me a call when you get this. Hey, Murphy.
Okay, what's the deal?
You followed up on the auto tech tip I gave you, right?
Yeah, turned out to be an NSA front.
But you got inside.
Not as far as you know.
Call it a hunch. Anyway, I need you to get something for me. It's a file with documentation on an NSA project called Operation Euphoria. It's kept in the NSA evidence room in the Autotech building.
How do you know all this?
Let's just say I've gotten to know some useful people. So what do you say? If you can get me the file, I'll trade you information or maybe something else. I've got access to anything you want. Just name it. Horton was with the NSA. He was the right-hand man of a higher-up named Jackson Cross. That's not in my area. Are you going to ask me about every person you ever heard of?
Hello there. I'm glad I caught you at home.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't drop by in person, because my housekeeper's on the rampage again.
If I dropped by, I'd just mess up your apartment anyway.
So what'd you find out?
Well, not much. About the only thing I could figure out was toward the end of the notebook. There were quite a few references to OE, EW, and AE, but I'm not sure what they stand for.
Well, the E and the W could be directions or compass points, and the OE stands for Old English, but that doesn't seem very relevant. Whatever they mean, I get the feeling they're leading to something really big. Everyone and their dogs want to get their hands on your father's work.
As soon as we find out what these initials stand for, we'll be halfway to a fortune.
I don't know. Maybe your father was keeping this under wraps for good reason. When we find out what this is all about, we may decide that whatever he learned shouldn't be let out into circulation.
What are you talking about? That's why we're in this. For the money.
Look, your father wanted to keep this work away from the NSA, and I think that's an omen.
We won't sell it to them. We'll only sell the information to the right people.
What if it's not that simple? What if it's something that would be better locked up forever?
That's not an option. It was my father's work, so by rights it's mine now. You can have a piece of the action, or I can do it alone. Now I think you should give me back that box I gave you.
I don't think that's a good idea.
You don't have the right to keep it from me. It's mine.
That's not the point.
You're right, Tex. I'm being foolish and irresponsible. If there's nothing terrible about what we find, we'll make a lot of money and live happily ever after.
Let's keep our fingers crossed, but for now I just want you to sit tight. I have a feeling things are going to get a little sticky from now on. Those initials you found may refer to other people who received boxes from your father. I'll see what I can turn up. Give me a call if anything else occurs to you.
All right, Tex. I'll be here. Please be careful.
Looks like the tiles on the top of the box can be moved around. Now if I can just find out what pattern they need to be in. What's this? It's a crate, with Thomas Malloy's name stenciled right on the side. Well, this is certainly an interesting design. I wonder what type of symbols these are. Looks like a module of some sort and some small metal pegs.
I hope you were calling with a hot tip.
Oh, but
Can the sweet talk don't know anything about it. Seems to me I've heard that name in connection with the UFO industry. I don't know anymore.
well, there is a favor you can do for me. You ever heard of a book called There Are Messages from Outer Space?
Sure. It's like a Bible for UFO nuts.
Well, I've got reason to believe that someone made an anagram out of the title. I need to find a computer program that'll check out all the possible anagrams.
Well, that's easy. I know the guy who does the anagrams down here at the paper. I'm sure he can take care of it. Might take a few days, though.
That's okay. Just get it as soon as you can. I'll see what I can do to retrieve the Operation Euphoria file. Anything else?
Yeah. My contact got me a pass key. I guess you'll need it to get to the file. I'll send it over by express courier.
All right. I'll let you know when I'm ready to make the swap. Well, now that I got Purnell's key, at least getting into the locker at the NSA should be easy.
What can I do for you, Murphy?
Don't know anything about him. You think I know everyone in this town?
Look, Mac, I need your help. I know Dag Horton was an NSA agent, but I gotta find out why he was posing as the Black Arrow killer. Now, this could be a matter of life and death. For me.
Come on, Murphy. You know they don't tell me anything. Especially not when the NSA's involved. I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Man, you gotta be able to figure out something to tell me.
Well, I do know one thing. I know where they took the body. It's down at the county forensics lab. Listen, I know the guy that runs the place. Maybe I can get you in and you can have a little time to take a look around. That's it. That's all I can do for you.
Well, maybe that'll be enough.
Don't know anything about him.
For the second time in a week, Mac comes through for me. Now, that's a new record for him. When I get to the morgue, the door's unlocked and the coroner has conveniently gone out for a long lunch. That gurney looks about as comfortable as one of those Craft-O-Matic beds. Looks like it's locked. These drawers are labeled with letters. They probably contain some personal belongings brought in with the dearly departed. Maybe Horton had something on him. G through I. and Horton starts with H. G through I, and Horton starts with H. These drawers are labeled with letters. This reminds me of one of my favorite songs, the hip bone connected to the leg bone. Returning to Autotact after almost getting my head blown off the last time makes me a little nervous. There are no speeders parked outside, and a cautious look around leads me to believe the place is empty. At least for now. I better work fast.